Ramble.
Quick shout out to Hims for sponsoring this week's episode. Welcome to the TryPod. We are the Try Guys. You got Zach. You got Keith. You got Ned. Eugene is on a family vacation for the 4th. You got Miles B sitting in the big boy chair to ask us questions. We have been on the road for 3 weeks now. You've been listening to our podcast, but actually, you've been listening to what we call some what do they call it?
Backdated episodes.
Yeah.
Golden treasures.
There's a word.
Reruns.
There's a special word for it. It's like back pocket, cash. No. Anyway, it's early. My brain is broken. Okay, in the last 3 weeks, we're going to talk about it all today. We went to New York. We went on tour. We had a book come out. We have seen way too much of each other, and we have been in 10 different cities. We've got stories. 11 different cities. 12 different cities.
A lot
So
of
many
cities.
We've got stories to tell. First up, what pop culture did I miss in the last 3 weeks?
Oh, yeah. What?
Miles, what happened?
Lil Nas is gay now.
Really?
Lil
Yeah.
Nas
Well,
X.
was he always gay? Or
I don't know.
Well,
he
I'm
was
sure he
always gay,
was,
but he
but
came
he
out.
came out as gay.
He came out. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I actually, I love how he did it. And I also I feel he needs to be studied as the greatest social media marketer.
He's a meme lord for sure.
He's unbelievable. I have so much respect for him. I'm not kidding at all. I think he is brilliant.
He tweeted out this morning, oh, so that's what he meant by ride till I can't no more. And the reaction video was someone going,
Wow.
And I was like, you are brilliant,
Didn't
sir.
people try to cancel him this week or last week?
What? Why?
There was a whole...
Oh, that's the pop culture that we missed.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened, but like BTS fans apparently tried to cancel
Oh.
Lil Nas X.
Army, you're too aggressive.
I don't know what happened.
I'm not going to talk to the army.
Yeah, that's
Negative
true.
or positive.
Well,
I don't want any
I
back.
saw that the BTS mobile game was #1 on the charts.
What's the
I don't
game
know what the
consist
game
of?
is, but I imagine it's like you just hang out with your friends, BTS, go shopping.
I keep saying we should
try and be a
make
pop star.
the Try Guys mobile game where it's just like we're paper dolls and you just put us in different outfits that we've worn.
That's
and then
cute.
you come up with your own quote and you put it out on the internet.
That sounds good.
Right? You dress me up as a bumblebee and say, I'm stinging all night, girl. And then you can be like, oh, I'm a Try Guy. Look at me. Look at me go.
You're a little bumblebee.
You dress me up as a
Little
toilet.
bumblebee.
You'll dress me up as a toilet and say, oh, shit's crazy. And then you put me on the internet. There you go. You're a Try Guy.
It would
now.
just make little pictures? Like you're talking
Yeah,
about?
like it's
It's like we're dolls. And you can play dress up
Okay.
with us.
Yeah, sure.
But then there's a quotable
a
element.
caption.
Oh,
I
I
do
see.
think we should make a mobile game. I don't think that's the game we should make. So if you guys have any better
No,
games.
but Zach, it's we're dolls.
Yeah.
And you dress us.
Right, I get
and
it.
And there's a quote like element.
Oh, okay, I'm in.
Okay. Cool,
I think
cool,
it's
cool,
actually
cool.
a great idea, especially if it was like almost like the random Pokemon generator. If it was you took
Yeah.
a random Try Guy image and a random like costume and you combine them and it just gives you a random quote.
What? I saw some screen caps of that Pokemon generator. What's going on with that? Is it just I'm looking at you, Miles. You're supposed to be
Pokemon generator?
You're supposed to be up on everything.
Well, E3 was right before you guys left.
that's not what I'm
so-
talking about.
All right, cool.
It's
great.
It's
New Halo trailer does look good.
Wait, is there video game news?
There's a lot of video game news. I mean, it all happened sort of in between when we recorded podcasts. There's a new Breath of the Wild
Oh, yeah, the
game.
Breath of the
There's-
Wild.
It's gonna be
sequel.
dope. It's gonna use the
That's
same
gonna be
engine.
insane.
Wow.
Wow, I missed
Wow.
everything.
A lot of exciting stuff.
No, there's some Pokemon generator.
I got invited to
Okay.
an Overwatch live match, and I think I'm gonna go.
Are you gonna compete or watch?
Well, I think I'm just gonna watch, but maybe maybe it's like a gateway to me competing.
It started kind of cool and got way less cool.
Yeah,
as it
no,
went
pretty
on.
cool though. Pretty cool.
I feel like-
Oh, you guys think I would compete? Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, I
Can
don't
you
know about
compete
that.
in Overwatch?
Oh yeah.
yeah. That's
Oh
the point.
yeah.
You fight against each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
I think the point is the friends that we make along the way.
That's what I always thought.
That's why you can get the Try Guys app with dress up dolls.
I'm telling you, I think it's a good idea.
I think you could do like an Earthbound thing, but with like Keith, Ned,
that
Zach,
takes
and
so much
Eugene.
of a big
it could be
engine.
We
like
could just get a fan to
Yes,
develop it.
100%. If we made an RPG, it's perfect, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
pick
what
us
I
up
want.
along the way.
Yeah.
You start as Zach.
Yeah.
Because he's the chosen one. That's always how it is.
This is huge. I found out recently that I'm an uwu.
What does that
Why
mean?
do you keep saying this? What does this mean?
This is like you're pandering.
I'm super excited about it.
What is it?
Well, I think I'm misusing it. I think you're supposed to just be uwu. I don't think you can be a uwu.
Well, yeah.
But
that's-
Of course.
it's an adorable emoticon. Just picture it. A U, W, U. It's like a cute little thing going. And then you can also be an O, and you can also be an owu with your eyes open, where you're kind of more like, oh.
Oh, wow.
So that's me. I would like to be referred to exclusively as uwu from now on.
It's like a new emoji?
It's not a new emoji. It's more just like a way of being.
It's
And
an emoticon. You type it out.
I'd say
pre-emoji.
either you get it or you
Yeah.
don't get it, and it sounds like you guys don't get it.
It sounds like you don't.
Oh no,
fully
I get.
it.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I def get
Okay,
it.
sure.
I def get it, and I'm not just saying it because it sounds funny.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
So on tour, you guys have just gone this insane thing. Are you exhausted? Did you have anything stupid happen?
Well, do you want to go back even before the tour? Because before the tour, we went to New York and did 3 days of PR and interviews and meet and greets, and we had a book come out. Our new book is in stores right now, and yeah, between now and then, we are
Between now and then.
Who wants to hit him with the big news?
We are New York Times #1 best-selling authors.
Fuck
At
yeah.
the Irwindale Speedway.
That's right. These idiots that you're listening to right now are #1 on the book charts.
I'm so excited. This is a lifelong dream come true. I thought writing a book was a lifelong dream. Becoming a New York Times bestseller was like an impossible dream. And becoming #1 on the list, I didn't even think was possible.
You know what's funny though is
Unless
that
your name's J.K. Rowling.
we were backstage at one of our shows when we found out that we were #1, and I think you guys were talking of like, this wasn't even in my language to be a dream.
No.
like writing a book, dream come true, always
Like,
a dream.
probably nobody reads it.
Right, or just making a book, but and having a successful book, also amazing. To be #1,
Never even.
it never
It's
occurred
like
to
if
me as an
somebody showed up and said, "We'd like to give you the Nobel Peace Prize." Like, no, that was not part of my pictured agenda of accolades. You know, like I never thought I would get that one, so I didn't even think like I should try to. You know, that just didn't seem like a possible
I thought
thing.
I would win a Grammy before being a New York Times bestseller. and
I've
y'all
won a
know
Grammy.
how I
I've won a
sing.
Grammy.
Have you won a Grammy?
I won a Grammy because my high
Wait, what are you talking about?
So the Grammys have there's
Whoa! You've won
Wait,
a
what?
Grammy?
yes.
What?
Technically, yeah, and quite officially,
Are you the closest to an EGOT?
yes, I am.
How'd you win a Grammy?
My high
and also,
school-
why do you keep saying technically?
because like the Grammys have lots of awards.
Okay,
They
paint a
have-
picture. Tell us a whole story.
In high school, my high school band, my senior year, after I had moved to Illinois, my band at Neuqua Valley High School, and the whole music program, high schools can submit basically full concerts that they've done on their program sometime in the year to the Grammy Association and say, we think that our high school music program is among the best, if not the best, in the country.
Wow.
And we won a Grammy for our high school music, and I played on the concert that was submitted for the Grammy. So I technically am a recipient of like 1/300th of that Grammy.
Is your name on the Grammy certificate, or did your
No,
high
it's just
That's
it's
the
just the music program.
I'm gonna say you definitely won a Grammy.
Yep.
I won a Grammy.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
The thing that sucked is that the next year, part of winning the Grammy also meant they got to like go to Europe and play music, but I had graduated, so the next class got the
that's
trip.
such bullshit.
And it's like, oh man.
Everyone knows that's what happens when you win a Grammy.
you
get
get
to
sent to Europe.
You get to go to Europe and
that's
play music.
That's risky because what if all the good kids graduated and it's just like,
Luckily, the program was really good, and like that band I was playing in played
gave it to the
harder
program.
music and was better than I think even the college band that I played in. It was just unbelievable, and almost all those people are professional musicians now.
So you are a Grammy award-winning #1 New York Times best-selling streamy recipient, Webby award-winning internet idiot podcast host.
Yeah,
Wow.
What a multi-hyphenate you are.
Yeah, I know.
And
Oh
you eat stuff.
and I eat stuff now mostly.
Wow. How do you have any awards that I should know about? You
don't
didn't
think
win like a
so.
Peabody Award for chemistry?
No. I mean, like I was a National Merit Scholar.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I've heard that thrown around.
most of the people at my school.
My brother is a National Merit Scholar.
What does
as
that
well.
mean? I've heard it, but I don't know what it is, which means I'm not one.
I think it just means I'm good at school.
Oh, so you just have like a good GPA?
There's a bunch of different
It's like
things.
it's GPA, it's test
GPA, test
scores,
scores.
and then it's also like
Is this high school or college?
High school.
That makes more sense. I won
I was
the
an Intel Science Fair semifinalist.
I won the Westchester.
in that one.
that one's not as exciting.
I won the Westchester County Halloween window painting contest in 4th grade.
That's pretty
big.
dope.
That's
I got,
pretty
I
dope.
got a trophy.
What was your painting?
I got a trophy with a witch on it. She was riding a broom. It was this painting of a little boy looking through a window, and there was a Grim Reaper standing outside. It was very creepy.
That's very edgy.
Yeah,
How old were you?
I was in 4th grade. I was an edgy kid.
Oh, okay. That's old. I heard kindergarten for some reason.
There's a lot of blood.
Like I was a 4-year-old, and you're painting the Grim Reaper. Pretty intense.
No, he had blood dripping off his scythe into a jack-o'-lantern that was overflowing with blood.
Ew.
Yeah, it was gross. It was Halloween, man. You gotta be creepy.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky stuff. Okay, so we went to New York.
Mm-hmm.
We did what felt like 40 interviews in 2 days. Do you remember how many we did?
I would say the book tour was more overwhelming than the tour.
Yes.
Maybe overwhelming isn't quite the right word, but like it was. There was like 14-hour
8 a.m.
days
to
with
10
no
p.m.
break.
Yeah.
We got to eat dinner at 10 p.m. We got to eat lunch.
Yeah,
at
a lot of missed
maybe
meals, which is bad.
3:30.
Oof.
But the tour itself, we kind of had most of the morning free to explore each city and like be like, hello Cleveland, hello Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit was adorable.
Hello, Milwaukee. All these
Milwaukee
places
was
I'd never been before.
adorable. I had a lobster roll in Milwaukee.
That's
Are they
great.
known for lobster rolls? No. But you know what? It was fucking delicious. And it was $15, quite affordable for like it's. I think I had 2 whole lobsters in that sandwich. It was nuts. It was great.
So right after doing our book tour, we're just jumping all around. We started our nationwide tour. We have this live show called Legends of the Internet that we'll tell you all about. It's super dope. But we've been living on a bus. We had 9 shows in 10 days, including 7 shows in 7 days, which no one does. Everyone told us like, hey, like this is not a good thing for your body. You guys are nuts. But we went for it. And so we were living on a tour bus. You sleep on these bunks while the bus is driving. You wake up in a new city, and we were in 10 different cities in 10 days. 9 of those were shows. We started in LA, then Phoenix, had a day off in Albuquerque, Denver, Kansas City,
Minneapolis,
Chicago,
Milwaukee,
Detroit, Cleveland.
and we said Kansas City.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it
Kansas
was.
City was really fun.
We ate some good
We ate
barbecue.
some real good barbecue.
And then we all felt
Joe's
heavy.
Kansas City.
Yep.
Yeah, we ate it right before our show, and then we went on stage, and it was very hard to not just say, "Hey, Kansas City, what's up? How y'all feeling?"
Also, the
Everybody
venue
good?
bought us a platter of barbecue.
Oh,
so
that
we
was
finished the show and go back to the room, and there's just a pile of meat. And we're like, oh, no.
Yes, Kansas City.
I feel.
Lay it on me. I invited Patrick Mahomes to the show.
Did it work?
No, but you gotta shoot your shot.
It was. I was hoping it would work.
Yeah.
So do you have any top tour tips? Like you guys have done this, you're about halfway through your full tour now.
For all of the people listening that might go on a tour themselves.
Oh, hell yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I did learn a lot. One, I mean, your day totally changes. So like we're recording this podcast at 9:30, and my rhythm is totally thrown off because our workday.
Sleep right now.
Yeah, our workday. I would wake up at 11 or noon. You have like your night in the morning where like that's your time to just kind of de-escalate and be by yourself and refresh. Then
That's probably the most disorienting thing.
Yep.
Right? Because normally your relaxation time is in the evening.
No.
It's dark. You watch TV. You hang out. Whatever. But here, your relaxation time is in the morning, where you're used to just waking up early, drinking coffee, and get it going.
Yeah.
But like it took me a couple days to realize this, but I actually kind of forced myself to, okay, let's
be chill,
let's sleep in,
Yep.
let's take our time, let's just relax and do nothing in the first couple hours of the morning because the rest of the evening is going to be so intense.
Very stimulating.
Yes. Stimulating is a good word for it.
It really is. And then you talk about disorienting. The bus, the most blackout of blackout curtains. So you don't know if it's 8 a.m. or 2 p.m. Like it could be anything.
You're also in like a double wide coffin.
Keith, I heard a crazy stat the other day. You want to hear it?
What's the stat related to?
It's hair.
Hair.
Well, 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm one of them. I'm on my way.
I'm on my way.
You're on your way?
Yeah, I've lost a little bit up at the very center.
The crown. Hair loss is a real thing, but guess what? You can fight it. You can do something about it. Because forhims.com is your one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. I should clarify, it's not a stop shop for hair loss. It's to combat the hair loss.
Right.
You don't go to Hims to lose more hair.
You're like, could I get rid of what I got?
There are a lot of men who are ashamed to even talk or think about hair loss, and they've done just such a great job of making it really approachable and comfortable. But they send us some cool products. We've got the Hims multivitamins. Okay, first of all, I want all my health stuff to be gummy, but also it has biotin, which helps for nail and hair growth. It's awesome. Hims is just making it so easy. You can connect with doctors, real doctors, through the internet. They can diagnose and help you with what a treatment plan is to help you keep your hair. Like, because of everything we have now, baldness is optional. You know what I like doing?
What?
Saving my hair. You know what I hate doing?
What?
Getting off my butt. You know what Hims does?
What?
They deliver it right to your door.
What?
Yeah, isn't that nuts? You can take control of your life and not ever move.
Wow. There's nothing like standing up for yourself from the seat of your chair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They make it convenient. They make it cool. They make it fun. And the gummy bears taste great. What more do you want, you donkeys? Get on it. Order now. Our TryPod listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See their website for full details and safety information. This would cost you hundreds of dollars if you went to a doctor or pharmacy. $5. That's the price of half a sandwich.
$5, half a sandwich.
Go to forhims.com/man. That's forhims.com/man. Forhims.com/man. Thank you, Hims.
Now back to your regularly scheduled nonsense.
Yeah.
It's basically a tall coffin.
Extra long coffin.
And you're like, and then you crawl. I was one of the lucky people who got to sleep on a lower one. So, but that also meant that I crawled out of my den like a spider, and then I get up, and I have to have coffee, so I would put on clothes and immediately get out of the bus.
Right, you usually have coffee in bed.
Yeah,
oh,
so
no.
I had to crawl out like a little monster, and I come out of the bus, and it's 11:30, so the sun is bright. And you're walking onto a sidewalk, which is white, and you walk onto the sidewalk. I mean, think about if you went from bed to sidewalk of a downtown in 2 minutes, and everyone else
2 seconds.
I'm giving it the benefit of maybe 2 minutes, and then there's people in business suits walking by, and you're like a troll who's just rolled out of bed, and you don't know how to get into the theater.
Sometimes the theater was the middle of nowhere, and the bus door was 10 feet away from the stage door, but sometimes the bus parked in the middle of a downtown area.
2 blocks.
The stage door was 2 blocks away. This happened in Minneapolis and Chicago. We get out of the bus in Chicago, and there's the L train right above us. We are in the middle of the Red Line area, downtown. People are walking, doing their commute thing. Maybe they're getting lunch. It was chaos.
I'm pulling this giant suitcase. I have a backpack on and a French horn, and someone's like, "Oh my gosh, I love you." I'm like,
I got stopped for 5 photos immediately. Still couldn't find where the stage door was, so I just went back in the bus.
And cried.
I tried to figure it out.
So you talk about tips.
What is happening?
Tip number 1 is I learned very quickly to have your next day's clothes. There's no pajamas in the world of touring. You fold up your clothes, because the first couple days I would leave the bus like in like sweat shorts and an oversized stained t-shirt, but like people are living life and they think you look crazy.
Because your suitcase is underneath the bus. There's no space for a suitcase in a bus. We're sleeping in double wide coffins over here.
Yeah.
There's barely room for anything.
There's barely room for a backpack.
Keith, were you too long for the bed?
Thank goodness I was the exact length of the bed, which meant I could lay flat on my back and my feet would just barely brush the end of my little coffin.
The hardest thing for me and Ned, I know you had an easier time sleeping once we got into it, but the bus is moving. You know that feeling when you're trying to sleep as the plane is landing and like your just acceleration is going and you're like, okay, I'm not, my eyes are closed, but I'm not falling asleep. That was every night. And we had some 8-hour drives, which means that like, you're driving from 12 or 2 till 8 in the morning. So when the bus finally got to location and parked, I know you felt the same way, Ned. There was this relief of like, now I may slumber.
And now I can actually sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be in bed for 10, 11, even 12 hours sometimes.
Yep.
But I would actually only sleep for
5 or
like
6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Because the night I just like, you're sitting there, it's like bouncing back and forth. You're like, okay, well, I'll just try and fall asleep. And then it's like an hour later and you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll get a glass of water and then try and fall asleep some more.
Any of you have any hilarious moments caused by your disorientation in your bunk? I have one hilarious moment where I just... Like I kept a lot of, I always went to bed with like a water bottle.
Yeah.
But then throughout the night, throughout the tour, I had like 5 mostly empty water bottles. And there was one morning, it was like 6, and I'm trying to find a water bottle with water in. I go empty. I find one, and then I open it and pour it in my mouth, but it was way fuller than I thought. So I just poured water all over my face, and it's still pitch black. And then I'm like drowning because I had gotten some in my mouth, but then I poured it, and then somewhat in my nose, and I'm trying to breathe and trying to swallow the water in my mouth, and also like. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm awake now because I just waterboarded myself in my little coffin.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that was one funny moment.
He's not here to talk about it, but Eugene somehow, no matter how late we went to sleep, his body wakes up naturally at 8 a.m. That's what he does, and he can't go back to sleep.
When the bus stopped, that's like his body.
Good morning.
Just like, yeah.
So I'm jealous. I barely explored so many of these cities, but he went to museums every day. He like went on these long walks.
Yeah, but some nights he got like 3 hours of sleep.
Well, of course.
Most nights he got 3 hours.
Yeah, I'd say his was not the preferred method for living.
Yeah, but yeah, I wish I went to 1 or 2 more museums, like maybe. But also I wish I actually could fall asleep when I went to bed.
There you go.
The thing is, it's not a vacation.
It's not a vacation. Yeah, you are working.
Yeah.
So like and that's a hard thing to be in a new city and want to explore, but you're really only seeing that area that you're in, because to go any further is almost
a half an hour drive is kind of tough. But from like noon to 3, we usually had free, so that's enough time to go out to lunch someplace. Like I had some Minneapolis friends that hosted us at their
charming.
house. That was very nice.
Lovely.
A taste of home.
My God, that was
they
one
made
of
us the
highlights
most delicious
of the trip.
meal.
And then I met a buddy for lunch in Milwaukee. We hung out with my friend Pat.
I gotta give it up. I was so blown away by Milwaukee. It is the most charming. I cannot believe.
nice.
I love Milwaukee.
The Riverwalk area.
It is gorgeous. It is the most charming architecture, very old, but like beautiful buildings. Nice people. The crowd there was nuts. I think I like places that like me, and Milwaukee liked me very much.
Milwaukee was a very heavy Zach, little corn buddy.
Oh, really?
A lot of corn
Really
babies.
heavy Zach enthusiasm there.
Yeah, so you know,
And it was a,
The rest of the tour,
it was
not so
actually
much.
our-
Everybody liked all of us, but like there were some cities where like, oh, this city, like
It's
this
a Zach
is
town.
Zach town.
What's funny is we have these color hoodies that represent each of us, and I believe the green hoodie which is mine, is the worst seller of all of them. That's just a little behind the scenes tip for and that doesn't shock me. The green's it's not a color that most was people wear. You gotta be bold to wear the green. But I'll tell you, in Milwaukee, it was a sea of green. It was like, oh my God, this is where they all went. All 40 of the hoodies that we sold went to Milwaukee. It was awesome.
Detroit was also lovely. I remember that like Eugene and I went, and there was like this traffic circle, and in the middle of it, they had a beach. And they had like a bar, so like people were like drinking like beachy cocktails, but it was actually in the middle of a downtown and like a giant traffic circle. Mm-hmm. And constantly there were those people on bikes drinking like the little city crawlers that are like little taverns, but everyone's pedaling.
Taverns. Detroit was fired up. I mean, that
Detroit
crowd was
crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, they were awesome. And the show,
such a fun city.
The show is so fun because the show has like a lot of pure comedy, a lot of pure sentimental moments, a lot of pure like talking about just overcoming things that like might otherwise beat you down. And then it has a lot of celebration of who you are. The show really has like a great spectrum of types of entertainment, and it seems like that the whole show resonates with each city really well, regardless of how they're entering into the show.
I feel like we've gone long enough. Do you want to just like tell people what the show actually is?
Yeah,
we talked about it in such broad strokes. It's called The Legends of the Internet, and it begins with this musical number that's very much like a comedy 80s glam rock spectacle. And this idea
traces the entire history of the internet
all
through time until it leads up to the pinnacle of internet comedy,
us. Which was so funny to me. Like, it's written as a joke, but then every audience that we go to, they're like, fuck yeah, I agree. You are. And it's like, all right, cool, let's do this.
Yeah, and then it goes through and sort of shows, it sets up that we are legends of different tent poles of the types of content you like on the internet. I represent food.
I am the legend of love.
I am the legend of fun.
And cats.
Yeah.
Cats, which is like memes, stuff that's just pure enjoyment and absurd stuff. And then Eugene is a legend of gay.
Gay.
But that's really about celebrating like drag culture on the internet, about how I think the internet has allowed for more conversations about, people who come from different backgrounds or living different lives, and a big celebration of all that.
And then we use those there are games, there's things from our videos that come to life, but then we break off from the internet and just use it to talk about personal expression. And I think that's really what the show is ultimately about. It's a live show that makes you laugh till you cry and makes you cry till you laugh. But it's such a cool show, and our first show was in LA, which was so special and awesome. One, because we had Pyro, which was the coolest thing we've ever done. Ned, you want to talk about Pyro?
Oh, you guys. The feeling of explosions happening behind you while you're performing live to a crowd of thousands of screaming people
it's exhilarating.
Just, I have never felt so alive.
We wanted to have Pyro at every single show, but the budget to get Pyro doubled the tour budget.
Yeah.
So we then were like, oh, well, maybe we do it like
Some
3 times.
Theaters don't even allow it.
A lot of the theaters that we're doing don't allow it because we're in these amazing classic theaters, and every single one is unique and different, which makes every show special and unique. The DNA of the show changes. We
bring a lot of audience members on stage to interact with. Somebody always gets to be a live contestant on Fuck, Marry, Kill, where they get to, if anyone saw our old Fuck, Marry, Kill with distorted voices, they get to pick who they want to fuck, marry, and kill.
But they don't know who's
who, because all the voices sound like this.
Yeah, then we have, there are even parts of the show that have changed from the beginning show to now. Like we just totally changed the segment because it was fun for us because we're like, okay, well the audience is enjoying this, but I think they'd like this a little bit more.
Well, it's funny. You set up like, now I bet you think we're going to do this. And everyone screams, it's like, well, we're going to do this. I'm like, oh, they seem to have been way more excited about that other idea. So we've really let the audience tell us what the show should be in its best form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we're just constantly playing with how we do stuff. We have this great fan fiction script, and then now we're at this place where
it's like an improv segment.
There's so much improv in it, but now we're like improving even away from the script, and like we sort of threatened how the whole scene ended with one of our recent performances, which was super fun. because now we're so comfortable in the show that it's allowing us to throw curveballs to one another on stage, and we can hit all those curveballs and we can make it into something really new and fun. We keep calling Eugene Sweetie or Sugar Pie or something else in the opening number. We've started just lobbing confusing things at Eugene.
Eugene brings down the house with
epic
dance lip sync that's queer icons throughout history.
It's
follows
amazing.
the entire history
It's so
of
cool.
people who have influenced queer culture, and it's just like switches genres like on a dime,
and it's the
brings
most
down the house.
It's the most like all the VidCon performances you've seen online.
From us. From us.
It's very like this unique, lots of quick changes, lots of multimedia coming together. So it feels like it in itself, it's its own little show.
Yeah,
Like it's kind of like the closing number of the show, and then we have a full closing number after
Yeah.
that. And then we have another number after that. So the show is super fun and it keeps on going.
and we really started to hit a stride around Kansas City, I would say.
Denver, you don't think?
Denver was like the initial like, oh, this audience was
Denver,
awesome
for sure,
But then
but-
between Denver and Kansas City, we changed some things that I think
that's
made
when we
the show.
changed. Okay, yeah. All right, then that checks out.
Denver
Denver was still maybe the most fun. I
was a
personally
magical
had.
show.
Yeah.
There's still tech issues.
We've had a
like,
lot of tech issues throughout the tour. Like we have these things called in-ears that are these custom mold headphones, and you do it because you can't hear playback over the crowd, and when you do hear music, it's actually reverberating back to you. So there's a delay on that. So you have these in-ears so that you can actually sing to the music on time. In the first show at LA, our in-ears were broken the entire first song. So we're up there and we're waving wildly. The show starts with the curtain closed and like our silhouettes, and it goes one by one. And so Keith's in silhouette and we're all waving, motherfucker. And then Ned has to recover, and then he holds still, and then it's his silhouette, and we're waving like, guys, I have nothing. And they're like, yeah, good, giving us thumbs up, good show. We're like, no, fuck you.
No, we can't hear
Actually,
the
you can
music.
see it in the Craziest
Eugene's-
Week Ever video.
Eugene's
Eugene's silhouette, he's like, you can see his hands are up, and then he like resets to the like pose with two fists down, all stoic and still, which is what we choreographed.
I think I ran off stage either once or twice during the opening number and like slapped the table, and I was like, I am fucking nothing, because I knew that they could still hear me. Just because your microphone's live the whole show, basically.
yeah.
Um,
So it's like your speakers are
that was so terrifying.
quiet, but your microphone's live, so you can't tell anyone what's going on.
Yeah.
So we were
my
guessing.
microphone went out in, I think, Denver, Kansas City. I think it was Kansas City that my or maybe it was
Maybe
no,
it
it
was
was Denver.
Denver. It was
My
Denver.
microphone went out.
It was
for
really
the
cool.
entire first number, and I was like, oh fuck. So I was just projecting and yelling as loud as I could so
Oh, but
people
this
could
was
hear
so
me.
good. So Ned runs off
I
stage
run
to
off
get
stage
it
at a
done.
break, and I'm like, come on, my mic's not working. And they're like fussing with the cables, and I'm like, just give me a hand,
And then
Mike.
on stage, it goes to Legend of Love, and it's very clear that it's building up where Keith goes, then Eugene goes, then Zach goes, and it's like, it's Ned's turn. It's his
like,
section.
I have to go, and they're like fussing with the hand mic. I'm like, I gotta go. I'm like, I have to go now. Sorry guys, I don't have time.
We don't know if it was fixed or not. And then from the crowd, you just hear one person go, come on, Ned.
So then I just walk out to the center of stage.
Runs out.
No idea if my mic is fixed or not, and I just say, I am Ned, and I am the Legend of Love. And magically, my mic started working again, and everyone goes nuts.
Yeah,
it
it was
was
thrilling.
awesome. It was so good.
It's like, yes, he did it.
Yeah, and at that point, it was very much like the audience was just so on board and engaged with what was going on, and we were, we had gotten through. Every time you get through a mistake in
so
the
much
show, the
more.
rest of the show is so much more fun because you know that, well, I've already had a mistake, and the show's still going great. So mistakes are not going to stop this show from being good. And it just gives you this extra confidence. Kind of gives you more adrenaline too, and you're just like, "Yeah, I'm unstoppable, baby."
Real show
this
must
is-
go on mentality.
Yeah.
So our show is extremely multimedia heavy. There's this video wall that goes the entire time. There's interplay of music and sound effects and images. And during the LA show, the whole system crashed, and we had to delay the show 45 minutes or so, and almost didn't have anything. And like at the last second, they like put wires together, and it magically fixed. I don't know how. The second show, the Phoenix show, I have this piece that's reliant on video and music, and about 40 seconds into it, it froze. And it just stopped. And all the lights go up, and it's just like I'm just like in the middle of a thing in a performance. And so I just had to roll with it. And we finished the number a cappella with the whole audience. It ended up being very special.
I'm backstage and they're like, we'll have to start it over again. I'm like, you can't start it over again. We just got to plow through it.
Yeah, we just got to go.
It's like halfway through.
That was a moment actually where like the worst thing that could ever happen happened. It was just me alone on stage. The media failed. I was in dead silence, and then I made it work, and it was special.
Yeah.
And so from that point forward, I was like, I'm the fucking king of the world. Because leading up to the LA show, I was physically nauseous. I was so anxious. Like, my body hurt. I couldn't believe it. And then after that, I was never nervous again.
So you just started singing. What number was it?
Do I want to spoil? I guess I can
don't
spoil
spoil
it.
then if you
But
want.
it
Spoil just about everything else.
We're gonna
Yeah, I
change-
have
we're gonna- I'm
spoiled.
sure we'll change it for the second leg of the tour.
That is
anyway.
true. We are changing it, but it's during the fun section we do this karaoke bit
Oh, right.
where we have
Right.
everyone sing along, and the idea is to let yourself look a little foolish and have fun. But the song just stopped, which it ended up being very magical. But then Eugene's intro to the gay section also failed, and it didn't just fail that like there was like the Mac error, and then all of a sudden you saw a Mac desktop projected on the screen, and the whole
like
crowd.
a Mac logo as he's restarting the system
and
projected.
the whole crowd goes, "Oh no!"
It was really funny though.
I think I had blocked that out from my memory because I
You were
remember in
so
my head,
pissed.
I'm like, I feel like Phoenix didn't go as well, but I don't remember why. And now it's all
You're-
coming.
yeah.
I was very upset.
But so Ned and Keith are backstage preparing for this big Eugene number. Eugene is in this whole costume, and like to come out right then would have fucked it up. So I had just gone off stage from this, go right back on stage, and I just described the video package to everybody. But again, it felt real, it felt raw, and the audience was on board, and our ability to just roll with the punches has been huge this tour. I even know Ned and I have this one little moment where we enter from different sides of the stage and we have to cross each other. But the first show, we're like, oh, this stage is so much longer than we've ever done. And so there was just a look in our eyes, and without saying or doing anything, we're like, we're not going to cross. And it's little changes like that where we know the show well enough, we know each other well enough, where you can throw a wrench in our way and we adjust.
and just like special things happen. Like we have this one fan question segment at the very end, which usually is like a sentimental kind of question. Oftentimes people ask like, you know, what do we
we like about each other the most, or things like that.
But in one of the shows, a girl asked Keith, "Can you sit on my lap?" And the crowd
It was
went wild. It
magic.
was so funny.
Better than any moment we ever
And
could
so
have
she
planted.
did Keith's lap sitting face.
Yeah. And I sat in her lap.
Slowly.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was really fun. And I think that what makes the show so fun is that it really is you are a part of that show as an audience member. There's so much that is reliant on the audience in the show, and it really does feel like we are making a show with the
With them,
audience
yeah.
every night. And there are a lot of things that will be the same every night, but then there's a lot of things that just totally change.
It's fun to do. I'm actually really excited that we get to do it 11 more times.
so amped. I'm
We got
so
11
amped.
more shows.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
I want to say something just because we were talking about the tech errors. So from a technical perspective, we had all these issues, but we haven't had a bad show yet. Even
Yes,
Phoenix, where like
yes.
the worst thing that could have happened, that show still kicked.
Performance-wise,
fucking
crowd
ass.
energy-wise,
Yeah.
everyone's been really
Right.
Amazing.
into it and excited.
Our tech team is great. The tech errors come because you're coming into a new venue
Yeah.
every week, and and it just totally
Every
different people.
day.
Yeah, every day you have to
Yeah.
re-educate an entire group of people how the mics work, how these things work, when the music happens, when the mics are muted, how the videos happen, where the things are going, how these distortion effects work, and so really our sound check is an hour long, and it's only supposed to be half an hour long, and we barely get
squeeze
through
it in.
what needs to be tacked each time.
We
It's always an issue.
We're attempting a show way beyond what we're charging for. And what I mean by that is like the ticket tier kind of decides like the budget. And so I've learned a lot about the touring world, but like we're doing a 35 to 65, you know, as like the lowest tier. And that's like a basic concert. We are doing this multimedia variety show. And we're the show that we're attempting is just way beyond what we were budgeted for. And so I don't even know my thought here, but we are delivering so much more within these limited means than should be possible.
And you guys are you're doing meet and greets before the show?
Yeah, we do a meet and greet an hour before, like 2 hours before the show.
Excitement and anticipation.
Well, you don't want to do it after the show.
After the show, we're all sweaty, and we have to pack up our costumes because the bus needs to start driving by 11 or midnight, especially if there's a long drive, so that it can get at the next city early enough so that everyone can start then setting up the stage.
It's so unceremonious.
For the next night. We're just
you finish the show, you're on top of the world, you got all this adrenaline, and then you start neatly folding your costume, putting it on the rack. Like the curtain's still open, people are screaming, and like we have these spray bottles where you don't have time to wash. All of our costumes are dry clean only. There's no time to clean them. So we are using this alcohol mist to kind of clean our costumes. It did not
Basically just half sanitizes them.
Yeah.
Yours started to smell real funky.
And
right?
by alcohol mist,
yeah.
you mean straight vodka.
It's just vodka.
Yeah.
It smells an interesting kind of smell because the alcohol kills like 75% of the scent, but it doesn't kill something. So over time, that one thing is the only prevailing element of smell that has, and it's like this weird sourness, and like everybody's clothes smell horrible. But it was funny because some of the roadies at one of the venues was like, I appreciate you guys spraying your alcohol on your costumes. At least you're trying to make them not smell bad. There's so many rock bands that come in here and like everything smells horrible.
Luckily, we have several costume changes during the show, so we're mitigating how sweaty one individual item can get. But yeah, it's a lot.
Some theaters are just boiling hot too. Like you get on stage, like
It's a very physical show. There's a lot of dance. I mean, we sweat a lot.
Yeah, the first number is we're wearing plastic uniforms and dancing.
Well, we have big lights. We have these lights from the 80s. They're called car cans?
They're just cans.
Cans.
Par cans.
Par cans. That's what it is. But they're like the big classic like Rock of Love lights. That's just a wall of orange that blasts and melts your face.
They're torches.
If you were to accidentally touch it, you would get a huge welt immediately.
They use these kind of lights as airplane headlights.
Is that's what they
I
are?
think
some
the name
par
comes
cans.
from they have a parabolic like mirror in the back.
Yeah, it's a
Par can.
Parabolic.
How about that?
They're
That makes more
very
sense than
bright.
car cans. I'm like, cars don't have cans.
There's one part in the opening of the show where basically we would just blind the audience, and it's great because I can see everyone and I can see the whole audience going,
and we're like, that's how we feel.
But you asked about the meet and greets.
Yeah,
and
you're doing it before
we
every
meet
show.
about 150 fans at every show for about an hour and a half, and it's really great. I mean, it's been very special to see up close all of these people that watch our videos that we're just, we don't get to meet them online. So this is, that's probably the best part about the tour is we get to actually meet the people who are watching our content every day.
And a lot of people
have a lot of amazing stories.
Yeah, stories of how our content impacted them positively or helped them through a difficult time, which is like, the more of those you get, the more it's like, whoa, this is a lot all at once. But it's super special and meaningful and reminds us how special the community we have around our content is.
I love how many mothers and daughters who have said that, and also sometimes fathers and daughters who say that our videos have been the thing that has helped them bond with their teenager. Like that, like they have a lot of differing interests. Obviously, I think teenage and adults always have that butting heads, but our videos specifically have been the thing they all watch together and they enjoy together, and it's like their family. Like, literally, it's like, oh yeah, we're not allowed to watch videos without each other. Like it's a family thing. It's like everybody come, we're watching the Try Guys video, and it's like that is
really
so special to have that.
We are
impact.
fucking family entertainment.
I know. We keep joking that the show is family friendly. It's not.
It's vile.
But it is.
It is.
It just has a lot of swearing.
It's not nasty.
No.
It's just we have some swear words.
There's one moment in nasty.
You bring the nasty.
I make it nasty.
You make it nasty.
It's just
make sure
innuendo.
Yeah. I also, very exciting for you, Miles, I did text this to you, but there was a girl who we brought up on stage who had a custom-made Miles Nation shirt.
I am so flattered. I
It's
think
amazing.
She messaged it to me on Instagram too.
Oh, awesome.
And I was very impressed.
It's good. There were so many knockoff Try Guys shirts on
it really
tour.
makes me think we're doing something wrong in
With
our
our merch.
game.
There was like the first couple was like, oh, these are really cool and inventive. And then I kept seeing them and I'm like, what's going on?
This is the fifth I'm right, you're wrong, shut up shirt I've seen. I guess we should make our own.
Or people with like custom shorts where they ironed on our logo. Those were really cool.
Yeah. That's very
cool.
The funniest was the first day, one of the first meet and greets we did, someone had an old ampersand shirt we did, which was Keith and Ned and Zach and Eugene, but it was a color and a font that we never sold, and my name was spelled wrong.
With a K.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
And it was the first knockoff I'd ever seen sold. A lot of people are making their own shirts, which I think is very
that's cool.
adorable
That's
and
super
cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I bought it on Etsy.
Yeah, those less cool.
All right. But the cool thing is we have some like tour exclusive hoodies and
so
t-shirts
dope.
and stuff. Like we have this one that's like a rock and roll like
it's so
80s
cool.
tee with all the dates on the back and kind of this like triangle like cartoon version of our faces that's all like dirty and messy.
Well, you know what it was is that it's so hip right now to wear like a Def Leppard shirt or like your
Yeah.
80s rock, but no one fucking listens to Def Leppard, and don't tell me that you do. Def Leppard, no,
So
you don't.
we made our own
We made a
Def
Def Leppard
Leppard
shirt.
AC/DC shirt.
But you listen to the Try Guys, you watch the Try, so yeah, it's super dope.
And then we have these exclusive, like 4-color dip dye hoodies. So they're like almost like tie dye, but in like kind of in stripes. And they're so bright and like almost translucent. And you can just see in the crowd, there's a whole swath of these new like dip dye hoodies. They look so cool.
Well, my favorite thing is that there's this, I don't know how it works, but like this unconscious herd decision where every night each city decides this is the shirt we're going to buy. So some nights, Keith talked about that moment where the park hands go off and you just see this like multicolored rainbow, like Lisa Frank pastiche in front of you. And then other nights it's just a sea of black with rockers. But like the group decides tonight we're buying colors. Tonight we're buying rock
Yeah, some
shirts.
nights like, oh, the color hoodie sold out. Like, oh, the rock t-shirt sold out.
So we've
Like,
been trying to adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
We ordered more. Like we totally misestimated how much of what we should get, but we just can't keep up because every night they change their mind.
And we also have signed versions of The Hidden Power of Fucking Up.
Right.
That's kind of our
Is that our number one New York Times bestselling book?
what?
Wow.
Is that right? Is that right?
How about that?
But like, I kind of feel weird that I'm not signing anything today because every night we would sign the VIP meet and greet posters. Like you had to do that before 3 p.m.
And then we signed
Then we would sign-
thousands of these other things. Like literally thousands.
Including the very exclusive book.
Yeah.
No, what blows my mind is that signatures are sexy again. No, there were years
Nobody
nobody
wanted
wanted
signature.
signatures. It was all about the selfie. Now people back on
live
that
shows?
signature game. I've been like, we talked about like meeting people out in the street when we're deliriously zombie walking to find the nearest coffee and or sustenance, and people don't want selfies anymore. Some people just want signatures, and I'm like, you're
Really?
out of your mind. I signed someone's arm. I'm gonna tell you what.
Oh my
I
god!
signed
I
a
had
lot of people's arms.
I
They
don't-
all
first
got on the arm
ever
train.
arm signing experience. I think I started it. I'm sorry.
I was like, I literally told them, I was like, you do know this will fade away. Like, this is pointless.
One girl
Unless
wanted
they
me
get
to
a
sign
tattoo.
her forehead, and her mom said no.
Oh, good mom.
That I would have done.
But she did say yes to the arm.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't like signing bodies and I don't like signing fabric. It's the pen gives this resistance that you can't have a fluidity to it, and I can barely write in cursive as it is.
you have
so
to do it very slow.
very
like that.
slow, and that's not how I
Yeah.
sign. I'm a fluid signer.
I like signing fabric because I just remember like so many signed T-shirts I had when I was a kid.
Oh, it's
like,
cool.
It's really cool to have.
That's probably the single coolest item to have signed as a fan, right? A signed shirt.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah. Like a signed.
My sister has a signed
Rock
Hannah
concert
Montana shirt.
Oh wow.
Did she sign it as
I
Hannah or
was
Miley?
just thinking that. I think she signed it as Miley, but who knows?
Huh.
Maybe, well, do you think she had two different signatures?
Absolutely, she did.
You think absolutely? No
Absolutely, she
question.
did. She was that.
Yeah.
That was her whole shtick. Was that she was Hannah and Miley.
Well, that was the show's shtick.
Well, but she did shows as Hannah. Like
Yeah,
around
she
that
did
time,
shows.
she did Hannah
Yeah.
Montana concerts.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which honestly, I'll tell you what, I'm into an Ashley O concert. I don't know if you've seen that Netflix special, but
I haven't. I've been
She's
gone
been
for
performing
3
as
weeks.
Ashley O in her world tour that she's been doing. I follow Miley Cyrus on Instagram.
That's
It's
awesome.
wild, y'all. It's a crazy Instagram. She posts at least 20 times a day.
That's too much.
I'm not kidding. 20 posts a day.
That's too much.
It is wild. And some are Ashley O related.
I
which is
love
great.
I won't call out who it was, but we did a food video once, and the woman who runs the restaurant had us all follow her, and she has a private Instagram. And I was like, "This is dope. I'm gonna be like, this is one of the hot restaurants in LA. You know what I'm talking about?"
No.
Okay, I'll whisper it to you off air. And I was so amped because now I had like this in where I don't have to wait online. I'm gonna get hooked up with food every time I go. I'm in the door. But she posted, if Miley posts 20 times, she posts 30 times a day. And like the type of cuisine that they cook, it isn't always pretty. It's a lot of like curries and pastes and like just not good looking, not well lit, very dimly dark. It's just imagine the grossest food photography you could possibly imagine, drowning your newsfeed.
Oh,
Man.
gorgeous.
just not styled at all. Just like
It's awful looking.
just
Everything looks
kitchen
like
counter.
doo-doo. Yeah.
Dang.
So I had to unfollow her, and now I can't go back to that restaurant.
Oof.
Yeah, it's rough.
I think I know which one it is now.
Yeah.
I don't think I had the pleasure of following such beautiful food photography.
Ah, it was bad. Their food is incredible. It's not pretty.
Well,
Well,
should we wrap
guys.
this up.
Well, when we were out on the road, we were just all on our own, and I kind of wish that I had someone to turn to for advice.
Well, yeah, I
I've
felt
missed
like
that.
I had nobody.
Oh, you know what? I screenshotted a tweet. Normally we do this dumb little intro to Miles' section, but someone tweeted at me a possible intro, and I'm going to
Ooh.
sing it for you
Oh,
guys.
please.
This is from
I
at
saw this
Oh, I
too.
saw
at
this
H
too.
Quinn. Y'all need this to be the theme song for at Miles Bond on the TryPod. When the world's not so nice and you need some advice, bon signore.
Why'd you say
Oh,
it like that?
I see.
I wanted to
When
talk-
the world's not so nice
Yeah.
and you need some advice, bon signore. There we
This
go.
is
might be public domain too.
advice that will go for Miles with Miles. Bon signore.
What's up, Miles Nation?
It's a thing.
The thing, my mother-in-law mentioned it.
Becky
Aren't you
told me
glad
that.
you stopped saying Jake Paulers?
Yeah, I've created a
Okay.
You gotta
brand.
create your own
There you
brand.
go.
Do you want to be a chill, laid-back guy or gal?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Do you want to have the relaxation of the Buddha or Socrates?
I thought I missed you, but now I am.
I'm so in.
Chill, boys and gals.
Yeah.
Buy the more convenient flight.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
If you are looking at several flights and
Yes.
one of them is $100 cheaper, let's call it $350, and there's 2 layovers and it's at a weird time, it's not direct and all that shit.
I'm not made of money.
Well, yeah, you're not made of money, but you know when you're going to wish
You're
you
also
were made
not
of money?
made of time.
And you're not made of time.
Wow.
And also, if you take the flight, that's $100 more, but it's 2 direct flights. It's at a better time. Your light's more convenient. When you have to wake up at 5 a.m. to get to the airport, you're going to wish you could spend $25. Right? You're going to be like, oh, you know what? I wish I could spend $25 just to get me there at the better time. Then when you're in that layover, you're like, you know what? I wish I could spend another $25 just to be back on that plane, baby.
Or like,
Full
now I
asleep.
have to eat because
Yeah.
I have nothing to do. So I guess I'll go eat an overpriced thing from
$20
from
airport
McDonald's.
meal. Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I think that's a good advice. I'd say that you're going to do the worst time Uber on both ends of it, and you're going to have 2 times in airport, which
Yeah.
means you're going to buy something.
Oh,
each place.
I'm a big Burbank fan, but I feel like the
Oh, yeah.
price is like
can
around
be-
$100, right? Like, because
Yeah.
to go take a ride share to LAX, it's $50. But
Oh,
for
if
Burbank, it's maybe 12,
If you're in LA,
15.
if the Burbank flight option is within $100, you take it.
You take the Burbank.
Oftentimes it's like $400 more,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is crazy, and then
Well,
you can't do it.
we just flew back from Cleveland on a stop in Dallas, and I was thinking to myself, oh, can we seriously not get a nonstop here? But the nonstop flight was $300 more.
Right.
The layover
That's
was
about your
45
threshold.
then
minutes.
it's worth it. Yeah.
Yes, it flew into LAX, but it was like that's
Makes
kind of
sense.
the border where maybe the money's worth the
So is that your
extra time.
Is that your threshold? Like what is the money amount that you will do the layover?
well,
$100.
I'll never do 2 stops unless I'm really going somewhere.
I don't think
far
I've
away.
ever.
But I'll usually drive
done 2
to the
stops.
destination.
Where
rather
did you
than
do 2 stops too? Because you've only
that
flown
Carthage?
domestic.
It was a nightmare. No, I flew from Chicago and I needed to get to South Carolina, and I flew to New York, to Charlotte. I think and then flew it into Savannah, and then Savannah is the closest airport, but it's still an hour drive. So I was so sad, and I think my first flight was like 5 a.m, and then I landed at like 8 at night, and it was just awful. It's never worth it. The 2 stops, just take 2 days of travel at that point.
I've
just
flown
spend some time in the city.
We've flown on a seaplane to a helicopter to a glacier, and even that was only 1 layover.
I know.
Yeah, my friend's getting married in November, so I have to go to his bachelor party, and I have to go to like his wedding, and they're all on the East Coast, and so like I'm of the mind that if I have to go somewhere for a weekend, I'm definitely doing direct. I'm not going to do more than 1 stop, and like it has to be as convenient as possible.
Well, and also total time. Like Cleveland to LA was fine with the 1 hour layover.
I think it was 7 hours compared to 5.5 hours.
Yeah, not a big deal. But when I fly to New York, I'm checking that nonstop box on Kayak. Yeah. You know, I'm only going direct.
Also, when you fly to New York, there's so many like really relatively great priced options for a nonstop flight. You can usually get $300 flights, LA to New York.
Depends when you're going.
$400.
Thanksgiving really fucks you.
Here's my hot tip. If you're doing the kayak game or one of those sites, sites do not use Alaska Airlines, JetBlue Airlines, and Southwest Airlines. So you need to look those up yourself.
They don't do Alaska?
They don't always. Oh. So not all of them use those. So if you want to make sure you're double checking, use those airplanes. Especially, I got to vouch for my boy, JetBlue. JetBlue has gotten so dreamy over the last few years.
Some of them,
sworn that
yes, the old planes out of Burbank are not necessarily the best, but
their
most
old
of the planes
are
good.
garbage.
But Zach, you
the
can
new
fly
plane,
from Burbank to New York.
Yeah, on a air coffin with no TVs. You guys got any plans for the 4th?
Yes, I'm going to Santa Barbara with Ariel and Wes.
You're going away?
I'm so excited.
Oh, that's the last thing I want to do.
That's not that far, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
an
easy one.
About?
You got a nice miniature golf course up there. If you,
if
you're looking for a little bit of family fun, there's a nice little miniature golf course up there.
That was the hardest part about tour for me is missing Ariel and Wes. I mean, sometimes I would even, as I'm struggling to fall asleep, I'd like look at videos of Wes on the baby monitor, so I can just kind of like, I don't know, feel connected, and it kind of is relaxing just to watch a baby sleep. It's very cute.
What was your reunion with Wes like?
Oh, well, actually, so I got home and Ariel had taken Wes for a walk down the block, and so I was like, kind of like, wait, where are they? I'm confused.
Oh, that's
like,
so sad.
It looked like her phone and her wallet and like a glass of white wine.
She'd been raptured.
It looked like she'd been raptured. I'm like, where are? I don't understand. Because I was home like 5-10 minutes early, and so I'm looking around. I'm like, well, maybe she took him for a walk, and so then I look down the block and I see them walking forward, and so I'm just like, there they are, and I start running down the sidewalk, and then I just give them.
This is the soldiers returning from war viral videos that you love.
Yeah. I mean, I teared up. It was
of course
a long time to be away.
Bowie, my little doggy went nuts. His butt was wiggling all over the house. He could not believe that I was home. And Maggie, too. Maggie was wiggling her butt all over.
Of course. She did the same thing.
She rubs herself on the carpet and rolls around. It's like totally, it's a little much.
I will say that Ariel left Bean in the front yard. So she was like only gone for a couple minutes. But I got home, I'm like, oh, hello, Bean. And then nobody else was there.
It was good to be home. Good to see
home.
Becky. I'm going to go see Shawn Mendes this weekend. It's going to be a nice long weekend.
Tell Shawn we say hello.
I hope I do get to say hello to him. I don't know.
Shawn. Just staying at home, say?
I mean, we have some plans. I'm going to go see Mad Max. Very excited for that. Hollywood Forever. But I'm just trying to chill. We've got 9 days off, and then we're back on the road. Well, then, hilariously, we have VidCon in the middle of this. So, actually, we will see some of you guys. We're going to be doing a live podcast at VidCon.
Hey, come check out the TryPod live at VidCon.
That'll be, I'm sure, its own form of nuts. But I'm just, for these next 9 days, I'm trying to take it easy. I'm going to do a lot of self-care, going to get a little massage, going to eat some good food, and I'm just going to kick it with Maggie. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice. I'm doing a little Big Little Lies tour going up to Monterey.
Ooh,
I'm watching that
that's
show right now.
nice.
It's
Yeah,
good.
me too.
Just
It's
finished
real
episode
good.
2. It was crazy.
Crazy.
Fucking
Yeah,
crazy
season 1?
episode. Oh my, no, season 2.
Oh, okay. I haven't got hopped on to see, but I hear Meryl's great.
She's great. She's terrifying.
But you haven't watched season 2 yet?
No.
And you're going to Monterey for a Big Little Lies tour?
But I have really gotten into Bloodline. I don't know if you guys watched that show from a couple years ago.
No.
Well, now it's time for my favorite part of the show, Zach's least favorite. All of our tour dates. If you want to come see the Try Guys live on tour, check us out starting July 10th in San Jose, California, July 14th in San Diego, California, July 18th in Irving, Texas, July
Outside of
19th
Dallas.
in San Antonio, Texas, July 20th in Austin, Texas, July 21st in Houston, Texas, July 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia, July 25th in Washington, D.C., July 26th in New York at the Beacon Theater,
Yeah.
July 27th, Boston, Massachusetts, and July 28th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Met.
Guys, I'm not kidding. Like the
Tickets
show,
start
if
at
you've seen the show,
$30.
you know how good it is. If you haven't seen the show yet, you don't know. And if you've also seen if you've seen the show, also it's only gotten better. These last shows are going to be so fucking dope, especially that last block. I mean, actually, all of them. I don't want to pit shows against each other, but
They're all going to be amazing.
We-
Boston's almost sold out. and
Boston,
there,
we
and
have
there will be fire there.
16 tickets left in Boston, right down the street from where I went to college. I'm so amped for that.
Yep.
New York is on my birthday in the fucking Beacon Theater.
New York, D.C. also almost sold out. So
DC is going to
get on
be
it.
rocking. We've still got, we're doing these 4 shows in Texas, so a bunch of tickets left there if you want to come see us. Come see us multiple times. Every night's different. It's going to be so dope. I can't wait. You know, it's funny. When we were on the road, all we wanted to do was get home. But now that we're home, I'm like, I'm excited to get back on that road.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a fun show.
That rock and roll life, baby. Anyway, this has been the TryPod. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Until then, Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Thanks for listening to the TryPod tonight. Yeah.
Until next time, stay beautiful.
And Eugene's not here to say that we should do better. So that was it. We did it. Perfect
we did it.
podcast.
Wow,
a perfect podcast. A perfect ending.
Yes. Leave us a review, 5 stars.